Hello, hello, hello. I am jumping on live. I have some important immigration information for you. We've got some news that have just come out today about the public charge rule. The public charge rule. So you really want to pay attention to what I have to say in this video. This is really important. I'm coming to you live. I'm going to answer all your immigration questions. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer here in Los Angeles, and I help people with all sorts of immigration cases, naturalization, green card, work permits. I especially work on delayed immigration cases, administrative processing, visa delays, naturalization delays, and green card delays. But today I'm here to talk about the public charge rule. A court in New York today, Wednesday, ruled that the public charge rule that the Trump administration wants to implement cannot be, is blocked from being implemented during the pandemic. This public charge rule is known as the wealth test because it basically imposes a strict set of rules on immigrants that, in my opinion, goes above and beyond what the regulations and the law calls for. If you're applying for a green card through marriage, for example, you have to file a series of forms called the I-944. And this is these things are thousands of pages long, where they're asking for all sorts of personal information about clients, their assets, their financial situation, their credit score, and so on. And now a court in New York has blocked that from being entered. So that's really important. Also, if you have a case, a family-based immigration case at a consulate, this order from the judge bars the implementation of the Trump administration's wealth test, the public charge rules during the pandemic. So this is really important. It removes a massive obstacle that stands in the way of getting a green card. And it's the difference between being approved and being denied for many of our clients, especially people who don't have a lot of money or a lot of income or a lot of education. People who are older tend to do poorly with this sort of process. So as of today, Wednesday, you no longer have to deal with the public charge issue. I'm going to wait and see if you have any questions at all about public charge, but really you need to share this video with everyone and let them know that the public charge rule, at least for now, is no more. There could be further legal developments. We don't know what's going to happen, of course, but for now, the public charge rule is no more. It's a cause for celebration. We are dancing in the streets, metaphorically, if not really, we're dancing in the streets. I'm just going to take a few questions here. Here we have our friend David. He's over on YouTube, and he's asking about the DV Lottery 2020. Please answer you. David, thank you so much for your question. Thank you for taking the time to tune in, and I'm going to answer your question right now. So the Trump administration issued a proclamation that bars the issuance of visas that come about through the DV Lottery. There are legal challenges, class action lawsuits pending right now that take aim at the DV Lottery prohibition. The problem that you face if you're in the DV Lottery is that your process must be completed during the fiscal year, and the fiscal year ends on September 30th of 2020. So that's the way this works. And you have only until September 30th of 2020 to get this done. And that puts the DV Lottery winners, those who've been selected for the DV Lottery, in a very, very difficult situation. I think we're running out of time, but the only resolution that I can think of is to file a mandamus lawsuit as soon as possible against the DV Lottery. I know there are a couple lawsuits that are pending, and there should be some more. We have here, what is the status of the AILA DV 2020 lawsuit? The lawsuit has been filed. I believe they're seeking a preliminary injunction and a temporary restraining order. There are going to be some hearings, and I don't know the status of that. I'm not directly involved in their lawsuit. Here we have our friend Josh. Love your first name here. Josh is on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Just sent in a K-1 application. Should I go to UK and marry her? What's the best way to get her here quickly? First of all, congratulations on getting engaged to get married. Congratulations on getting engaged to get married, Josh. My wife married me. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. So congratulations. So if you have a K-1 visa and you go and you get married, then your K-1 visa application is no longer approvable, because if you're married, you're not engaged to be married. So the basis of the K-1 visa is gone. So I don't think you should do that. Or if you do that, you should be aware that you'll have to go back and start over from square one and refile the entire case. So I probably wouldn't recommend that. I think you should pursue your K-1 visa and stick with that. Hope that answers your question, Josh. Thank you for tuning in. Here we have Rhoda. Rhoda coming in from Facebook. Thank you so much for paying in. So Rhoda says, I paid the public charge. Do I get my money back? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure how you would get your money back. There's no filing fee with the Form I-944. It's filed together with an adjustment of status application. So I don't think there's not a filing fee that I'm aware of. But thank you for your question. Yeah, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video, because I think this, and share this video, because this information is extremely important. There are a lot of people out there who are working on I-944 applications and other applications right now, and they may not be aware that they no longer need to file them because the court's order just came out. So here we have our brother Mustafa on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to answer your question. It says here, hi, sir. How can I apply for an SIV? By the way, I don't have a general recommendation. SIV is a special immigrant visa. It's used for a lot of different types of visas. Maybe our friend Mustafa has a case for a special immigrant visa under as a translator for Iraq or Afghanistan. That may be the case. I'm not sure exactly what the question is, how to apply. It's hard. Let's go back to our friend Josh again. Ask another question. What if I get her here and marry her here and just AOS? Okay, so that's a pretty good question. So Josh is saying, well, I filed an application for a fiance visa, but I want things to go faster. What if I get her here and then get married here and then apply for adjustment of status here? The question is, how would you get her here to marry her? How would you get her here? Well, you could say maybe Josh's fiance is based in the UK. And if she has a UK passport, she doesn't need a visa. She could come into the US without a visa under the visa waiver program. And then once she's in the US, according to Josh's question, he could get married in the US and apply for a green card through marriage in the US. That is a good plan, but there's a problem with that. And that is that visitors, those through the visitor visa, those with visitor visas, and those who are coming in under the visa waiver program, if you come in as a visitor, you're not allowed to have any intention whatsoever of immigrating. And in fact, you will not be allowed into the US if they think you have any intention to immigrate. And if you've already filed an application for a fiance visa, then you've already displayed that you have the intention of immigrating. And then if you try to circumvent that by coming in as a visitor, I don't think that it will go well. There's an expression that I like to use, which is that shortcuts make long delay. So I think that is what I would say to that plan. I think the visitor visa is not a fiance visa. The fiance visa is what you need, although it does take time. I recommend that you pursue that. Any other questions about public charge? I'm eager to talk about public charge. Public charge is no more. We don't have to deal with public charge. It's gone. Hopefully, we will never have to deal with public charge again. Hopefully, hopefully Trump will lose the election and Biden will become president, and the public charge rule will disappear forever and ever because it's unfair. It's ultraviolet virus. It's not part of the law, and I don't like anything about it. So let's take some other questions from our friends out here. Says here, our friend Aladdin Alzubi, thank you so much, brother, for your question on Facebook. Aladdin says, if my I-130 was processed at the Texas Service Center and transferred to the Potomac Service Center, can I bring it back to the Texas Service Center? Well, I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. I mean, USCIS transfers cases from one service center to the other. And why they do that and when they do that and how they do that is something that I don't follow too closely, and I don't think anyone is privy to that information. And how you would transfer a case from one service center to the other is a mystery to me. Why you would want to do that is unclear. I don't think it confers any advantage on you to be at one service center rather than another service center. I think it's a distraction. I wouldn't spend any time worrying about where it is or why. If your case is delayed, consider a mandamus lawsuit, but I wouldn't mess around thinking about, well, it's at this service center, it's at that service center. I don't pay attention to that. Let's go on. Here we have Zaina. Hope I'm saying your name right. Zaina, thank you so much for your question, by the way. Thank you for tuning in and for paying attention. I hope this is helpful. I'll try to give you as much insight into your question and the other questions as I can. And I'll stay on and answer questions for a while. It says here, hi, sir. When are the embassies going to open? My K-1 was approved, but I can't go to the interview due to an embassy closure. So the embassies some of them are open, some of them are not open. Some of them are doing phased processing where they're reopening in certain cases. And if your fiance visa was approved, that I think that what you're saying is it was approved by USCIS, and then you need to go to the consulate to get the actual visa. But regardless, the situation is very much in flux. And I think that I don't really spend too much time worrying about which consulates are open and which ones aren't. I spend time worrying about getting cases approved because we've had cases that have been approved from consulates that claim to be closed. And then we have other consulates that are open where we have delayed cases. So whether they claim to be open or not is not something that I spend a great deal of time focusing on. Thank you for your question. I hope that's helpful. Let's see here. What other questions do we have here? Public charge questions. What do we do about public charge? I don't think we even need to worry about public charge again, hopefully. Let's take a question from our friend, Ba Diakaria. Thank you so much for your question. One of our friends tuning in on Facebook, looking smart in his camo jacket. Hi, Joshua. My appointment is April 8th. They stopped me for coronavirus. I still want my appointment. What should I do? Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but maybe you should try to contact the consulate. It's hard to do because the consulates are not in the customer service business. They don't really pay much attention to what you have to say. And so I don't know if that would be too effective, but try to contact the consulate, let them know you're available, and see if you can get them on. Hope that helps. So again, the big news of the day, today is Wednesday. The big news of the day is that the public charge rule is dead for now. It is not going to be in effect anymore. This is great news. I hope this helps you. I hope it makes your case go more smoothly. I hope you are celebrating as I am. Please, please, please share this video with everyone. Get the word out. Public charge, not a thing anymore. And if you have questions, let me know. I will see you in the next video. Keep fighting for your immigration dreams, and we will see you soon. Thanks.